What's going on, guys? Bentley here. Got a nice Druid, like, shape-shifting Pulverize build here for you. This build requires no uniques and is kind of like a mid-game leveling build. I am actually wearing a unique. It's just the werebear chest, just to let you know straight off the bat, but you do not need it. I'll explain later on. It just helps with a tiny bit of extra damage, not needed whatsoever. However, this build does actually slap. It's got quite good spirit sustain. It's got basically permanent fortify. We're going to be lowering the cooldown of our ultimate quite a bit to be able to pull in loads of enemies with the hearts in this season, as well as a good bit of mobility using trample, 2 different forms of unstoppable with trample and earthen bulwark. We've also got barrier and a self-heal. It's got kind of everything thrown in for what you need for kind of like mid-game build where you're just kind of trying to find your gear to be able to slap. So I'll show you that all in a second, but first, a word from today's sponsor, and that is Bloodline, Heroes of Lithis, a dark fantasy hero collector RPG game. In this game, you'll build your own kingdom, gather champions, and then protect your kingdom. You can make the most of the unique and powerful legendary champions by combining their different bloodlines, such as like elves, demons, even like demigods, dragonborn, vampires, and much, much more. Experience an exciting RPG and gacha gameplay featuring their most unique air system mechanics and stunning visuals. Get ready for an epic adventure in Bloodline, Heroes of Lithis. I've played the game quite a bit, and I can say I actually really enjoy it. You can download the game and try for free using my link, or even scan the QR code and receive an amazing starter pack worth $20. The game does have stunning graphics to provide a top-tier visual experience on mobile phones and smart pads, so enjoy collecting your fantasy characters in full 3D graphics. So you customize these champions by marrying them together with over 1,000 different possibilities. These hybrids then inherit not only the talents and traits of their parents, but also their unique appearance, passed down from each family tree and fused into one. New bloodlines with unique abilities and companion forms for each gender are also released every 2 weeks. With consistent updates, improvements, and new content, the fun of creating new hybrid combinations never ends. There's also rewarding late-game PvP, and all players can obtain uniquely designed hybrid champions, such as the Bloodcraft Legends, by earning points in seasonal guild wars. You can raise heirs with your companions and waifus, and you can switch their genders completely freely. Build your own kingdom and economy with strategic gameplay and beautiful scenes and interesting storylines. Download the game for free on both Android and iOS. You can use the link in my description or scan the QR code now showing on the screen. You will get a special starter pack worth $20 using my link, 1 summoning crystal, 100,000 gold, and even 100 diamonds. And the first 30 players who leave their in-game account and username in the first pinned comment in the section below will receive a free legendary female orc champion, Ugril, one of the best warriors to carry you through the game. So download free today. Okay, so back to the build. So for the gear, my gear, as I said, is very, very average. On here, we've got like maximum life, cooldown reduction, a bit of extra spirit and things on the helm. But what I do have is Quicksand. Quicksand is going to slow enemies. This is going to synergize with one of our passive skills from the skill tree, give us more damage. So Quicksand is nice. You do have to find it, though. Not essential. You do not need this unique. So I've got this one on, the Insatiable Fury, which basically makes Werebear my true form. This just gives you more damage. You do not need this at all. You can get a helm, not a helm, sorry, a chest piece that just has like 4 like damage reduction stats, damage reduction from close, damage reduction from distant, just straight up damage reduction. That's going to be great. Or if you do get this, it's not overly rare from what I've found. For the chest piece as well, if you do have a normal chest piece, just put something like this on, like Disobedience. That'll give you some extra armor. For the gloves here, I've got the Natural Balance. So casting a Storm skill grants your Earth skills critical strike damage, and then casting an Earth skill increases your critical strike chance of your Storm skills. A very nice one here for the build because we're kind of weaving in and out of using skills. So extra attack speed I've put on here makes it feel really, really nice. Chance to restore primary resource is lovely. The extra lucky hit chance is great, and all stats. So these are actually some okay-ish gloves. They're okay gloves. Going down, we have Mending Stone. The duration of Earthen Bulwark is increased, and in addition, killing an enemy replenishes the barrier. I highly recommend getting Mending Stone on, and then you just want like damage reduction across the board. So these pants again, these are actually pretty good pants. Probably my best item, to be honest. And then coming down, Ghost Walker. So when you're unstoppable, you gain increased movement speed, can move through. So when you got Earthen Bulwark on, it's very nice for this. Extra movement speed makes it feel fantastic, and movement speed after killing an elite. So I'm just like super zoomies. Spirit cost reduction is nice, and again I've just got like all stats. On my weapon, this is where you want to put the Pulverize, does extra damage from the shockwave. I've got critical strike damage, vulnerable damage. I've got willpower and all stats to basically just boost willpower. I'm not on purpose stacking all stats. That's just what I've got. So a two-hander, put on the Pulverize. And then on the amulet, I've got some cooldown reduction. I've got 3 ranks to crushing earth. That's the one that synergizes. Again, we'll go through the skills. That synergizes with the quicksand. Then I've got some damage reduction from close enemies and damage after killing elite. Again, like it's kind of a very average necklace, because I don't have like, I could get like extra movement speed on here, for example. That could be really nice, but is what it is. So then I've also got the core skills deal extra damage based on the amount of fortify, so that's retaliation aspect. The first ring, we have accelerating, so critical strikes with core skills increase your attack speed. Low roll, but actually very nice on this. Then I've got like vulnerable damage, I've got barrier generation, critical strike damage, and actually a max critical strike chance, which is quite lovely. On here, we've got vulnerable damage, max spirit, I've got damage to crowd control, which is meh, and I've got critical strike chance. But Pulverize is now an earth skill. After casting Pulverize, tectonic plates come out. That doesn't really do really much damage, but we want Pulverize to be an earth skill. So this is the, Ursine Horror, however you pronounce that. And then for the hearts as well, I've got the Devious Heart, which pulls in enemy when you use an ultimate. On here, I've got the Brutal Heart, which is basically damage mitigation. Then when you use a defensive skill, it explodes. The damage is okay, but we want that damage mitigation. And then, of course, critical strikes and all subsequent damage within 2 seconds is absorbed by your target, then explodes. This is the Barber Wrathful Heart. This really helps with a good bit of damage. You probably know by now that Barber is very strong. I got this on here. It's a bit hard to time with Pulverize because you have to like slam. You kind of, sometimes you're running out of like spirit against like tougher enemies or like bosses, things. But if you can kind of time out some of this, then it works very nicely. But yeah, that's the build, that's the items. Going to the skills, we have up here. So we've got Storm Strike going up for the vulnerable. Very nice for giving us kind of more damage reduction and applying a bit of extra vulnerable. Obviously, we're going for Pulverize in our core skills coming down here. So enemies at Pulverize deal reduced damage, so it make us more tanky. 1 point in Heart of the Wild, 3 point in Wild Impulse for extra damage. Then I've got 3 points in Predatory Instinct for that extra crit chance. 3 points in Iron Fur to give us damage resistance. For Earthen Bulwark, so 1 point into there. Then we become unstoppable, and also the extra fortify. Very nice. You don't need to have this one in, but it is very nice. Just buff your fortify up loads. From our spirit boons, we get fortify from using this anyway. And also we've got Blood Howl for a nice heal. It gives us more fortify from our spirit boon, and also generates spirit. And the cooldown of this resets quite nicely. So it's very nice having these 2 defensive skills. I highly recommend them. From our companion skills, we're just taking clarity because we are going to be doing a lot of shape-shifting. So we get an extra bit of spirit because we want to keep our spirit up as much as possible. Coming down to the Wrath skills, we've got trample. I've put 1 point in this, but my chest piece is buffing that up. And then I've come over for the Savage Trample because this recently got buffed. It gives you 40 spirit, which is very nice. Plus the Unstoppable. Highly recommend having trample. And then here we go, Crushing Earth. So I've got this 3 points on my necklace. It's okay. It's okay to have the extra 3 points. So Earth skills deal 30% increased damage to slow, stunned, etc. Remember the quicksand or quickening, I think it's the quicksand helmet that I've got actually makes things slow. So That's where I'm getting the multiplier from that. And then I've put 3 points into Stone Guard. So when we're fortified loads, we're getting extra damage again. Coming over for Petrify, I've got the extra duration, which actually helps a lot with pulling in enemies. 1 second actually does like another pull of enemies, which is quite nice. And then we have killing enemies affected by Petrify grants Spirit. This allows you to just pull in things and just spam Spirit. Just spam, sorry, Pulverize, sorry. You just spam it. You're just getting loads of Spirit back. It actually feels amazing. So I highly recommend getting the points there. Then we have Defiance for extra damage. Natural Disaster. We've also got Resonance. So just put your 3 points in this, in each of those. Very nice. I've put an extra point, one point into Circle of Life. It just gives you like a little bit of healing. You could move this if you wanted to. Then we've also got Quick Shift. So when a shape-shifting skill transforms you in a different form, it deals 15% multiplicative damage. So again, we're going into human form, we're going into werewolf form, and we're going into werebear form quite a lot. So this is quite nice to have. And also heightened senses, so we gain damage reduction against elites. And then we are using Silent Strike, so gain 20% additional maximum life while in werebear form for 3 seconds. And for 3 seconds after leaving werebear form, sorry. And while healthy, you're always going to be healthy with this build unless you're against really, really tough stuff. You just pop a pot. 30% again, increased multiplicative damage. Very nice, very nice. Paragon board. Obviously, I'm only level 72. I don't even have any of the extra renown ones. So, you know, all of that extra damage, I haven't bothered to do that yet. I've just got all the skill points. But the Paragon board, if we just zoom out, this is a very basic one. Link down below again for the full Paragon board. But what I've done is I've started off and I've just come up to grab Exploit because that's going to help make everything nice and vulnerable for us. So just picking up like the Dex nodes and things around here. And then we've got like the extra life from Tenacity. We've got extra damage and max life here. And then I've come up this side to grab the extra damage. The first board we're going to get is Ancestral Guidance. So you gain extra damage after you spend 75 spirit. And I actually have a ton of spirit on this build. But what's really important about this is the maximum spirit and 1 spirit on kill. Maximum spirit, another spirit on kill. And then here, 2 spirit on kill. This is very nice to just come up and grab straight away. I very, very highly recommend for druids to come up and grab this immediately, especially as you're leveling. So you can grab this, go and grab the Ancestral Guidance. Coming up for extra spirit again and maximum life. So this just helps out a ton. And then coming up as well, we've got the Werebear Glyph, and the Werebear Glyph is going to give us extra damage reduction. I just need to level it up so that I can actually grab it. So if I go here for willpower, you can see I've picked up the willpower node there and there, but it doesn't reach it yet. So we haven't quite got the extra damage reduction, but we're also getting increased damage in werebear form. And then coming over, the next one we've got is Survival Instincts. I'm just coming down here for the glyph. I will be coming up to grab Survival Instincts as well. Again, to see the rest of the board all fully done out, link down below. So for the boons, first one we're going to take is Wariness to reduce the damage we take from elites. Then we're taking Scythe Talons to increase the critical strike chance. I would have taken Avian Wrath, but it doesn't seem to be working right now. It seems bugged. Did test it, didn't increase my damage at all. But then you could go Iron Feather or even Swooping Attacks if you wanted to. So this will make the build feel better. This might be good for hardcore. All of these work here, so dealer's choice really. For the next one, we're taking 2. So we've got Energize for the extra spirit, and then Bolster for the extra Fortify that we get from using our 2 defensive skills, which just basically gives us permanent Fortify. Then the last one here, we're taking Calm Before the Storm. Nature Magic skills have a 10% chance to reduce the cooldown of your ultimate skills. And you will actually find with this build that Pulverize is a Nature Magic skill, plus obviously like Urban Bulwark, and you've got Storm Strike. So you actually find that you do actually reduce the cooldown of Petrify quite a bit with this. So that's what I'm using. All in all, it's a very nice build that has a good bit of everything. It's definitely going to carry you through Nightmare Dungeons and get you geared up so that you can start maybe getting a more powerful late game build. But hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Remember, I do stream on Twitch, like, sub, all that good stuff. And until the next one, I'll see you in Discord.